because we're live.
Really?
Life, life does not care about your calendar. All right. It does not care about your plans. It does not care that the deposits are paid. It does not care that people are flying in. And it definitely does not care that your annual meetup starts in 12 days because before our fourth annual OBU meetup, y'all know I broke my leg, surgery. I had to get plates and screws, the whole 9 yards. And for a minute, I thought, well, there goes the plan. But then something hit me. The show must go on. Actually, Rick said that. My husband said that. Not because pain doesn't matter, not because this is easy, and not because we're pretending everything is fine, y'all, but because our future, your future cannot be so fragile that one interruption, one incident, one accident, one election, one policy change, one job loss, or one government can stop the whole plan. The meetup still has to go on. The money plan still has to go on. The retirement plan still has to go on. The move abroad plan still has to go on. And our second passport strategy damn well still has to go on because one passport, one government, one economy, and one exit plan is too much trust to put into one system.
So today we're going to answer the simple question: which country offers the quickest, easiest pathway to citizenship without having to buy your way through an investment visa? We're going to talk about the difference between residency and citizenship and why passport power really matters. Why Mexico is our real life case study and why some countries are great for residency but not great for citizenship. And why Black Americans need to stop thinking about global mobility as fear and running away and
That's
start
right.
thinking about it. Start really, really thinking about it as a planning, and strategy.
That's right. Because what if America isn't your only option, right?
Right.
Hey, y'all. My name's Halisi.
And I'm Rick. Welcome to our Black Utopia.
On our channel, we talk about money, travel, and life abroad. We help folks who look like us, who are getting close to retirement age and forgot to plan, get your money straight so that you can retire on time, build a life with more freedom, more options. And for those of you who are new here, you might not know. Back in 2018, y'all, we got a wake up call. We were looking at our money. We were getting close to retirement age, looking at our money, and it was looking cray-cray.
It was crazy.
But we did get our financial act together and we went from negative 22,000 to over 1.1 billion in net worth, y'all. Y'all know if we can do that, you can do it
You
too,
can do it
right?
too.
So we retired abroad. We live in Portugal on a residency visa since August 2022. And we also have permanent residency in Mexico. And if everything stays on track, we will qualify for citizenship in Mexico, y'all, in February 2029. Right? So if any of that sounds interesting to you, you know what to do. Because of course the algorithm and YouTube is still tripping. So we need you to share this information with family members. All right. Because right now, too many of our community still thinks that it is business as usual in America. And for us, Black Americans, they have just taken away our voice when we vote. It is not business as usual, folks. So we need you to share this video. We need you to hit that like button. All right. And hit that notification bell twice so that you know every single time that we go live or drop a new video. All right. So, Rick, what
Yeah.
do you have to say?
So this is not theory for us. This is not a travel fantasy. This is not something I saw somebody else do on a YouTube channel. We are actively building the same options we are telling you to consider.
That's right. That's right.
So put this in the chat. If you could pursue citizenship in one country without having to buy your way in, which country would you choose? And if you're watching from the future, hey, future utopians, drop your
Hey
answer
on
in the
LinkedIn.
comments.
Hey on Substack.
Hey, drop
Which
your
country
answers
would
in
you
the comments.
choose?
Yeah.
Right?
Which country would you choose? And for a second passport, and why?
All right, so let's get right into it because y'all know today is Thursday. It's a Thursday short where we answer one question. The question we are going to be answering is which countries are the fastest and quickest, easiest countries to get a second passport or residency? Well, residency towards passport or permanent residency. All right, but we want to explain to you what the difference because a lot of people get confused between residency and citizenship, and they always think that you have to denounce citizenship in the United States and all of this stuff. You do not. Okay, I don't want to denounce citizenship because I don't want to ask for permission to visit my kids and my mama. Okay, so there's that. Right, there's that. But I do want options because we know that they're going crazy. And I don't want them to start messing around with birthright citizenship. And then we're just out there like with no choices. That's what
Right.
I'm thinking about. All right. So we have residency, legal residency in Portugal. We have legal permanent residency in Mexico. This is the same as an American green card. When we say somebody has a green card, that means they got the legal right to stay in the United States on a visa. It could be a work visa or any student visa or other kinds of visas, right? Those visas
Mhm.
can lead to long-term and or permanent residency in the United States. That green card. We've heard about that all of our lives. That's not citizenship. Those folks aren't
No,
citizens. They're green card holders. There is nothing wrong with that. That had a negative connotation in the United States, didn't it, sweetie?
it really, really did. And when we got our green card, it was like, okay, it felt
Got
good.
my got my green
Oh,
card from
hey,
Mexico. Got my green
you
card from
know,
Portugal. Right, we've got two other countries that we legally have the right to stay in for the foreseeable future. Residency is a lot easier to get for than citizenship. And
yeah,
for this conversation, this is the pathway that we're going to be talking about, as opposed to buying citizenship through some kind of investment program. Okay, that's not
right.
what we're talking about.
In residencies, you do have a lot of rights. There's just some rights you don't have, like you can't vote.
Right,
But
right.
there's a lot of things that you can do as a resident of a
Yeah,
different country.
yeah, yeah. Like for the most part, you as a resident, as a legal resident, depending upon the type of visa, you could potentially work in the country. You could
Mhm.
potentially participate in their social security program. Yep. You could have access to their universal healthcare system if they have one. You could purchase property. You could start a business. You could do just about anything except for probably run for office and vote. Okay, and so uh, you know the other thing is, and this is why a passport is so important because you don't want to be stateless. Without a
No,
passport, you cannot ever leave the country, right? And so that's why we are we are in search of more passports, okay? And you should be too. So so the first part we explained. Anything else you want to add to that, sweetheart, about the difference between residency and residency has a lower threshold, much lower
yes,
threshold.
it is. It's a lot
Right?
easier.
Yeah,
And
you could potentially go ahead, sweetie.
passport takes time because there's a set time limit that you have to have when you're going for a passport for citizenship,
Right, and we're going to talk
as
about
we
that.
learned here in Portugal.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, in the description below, we have a link to all of the countries that we're going to be going over, what the basic requirements are, et cetera, and why they are on the list. So it's free. Just go down there in the description and we'll hook you up. All right. And so here's the other thing. Like for Mexico, we could have conceivably gotten our appointment, gotten our visa, and gotten our green card within like 2 months in 2022. You probably could do it in 3 to 4 months today. Seriously, okay? Citizenship, that is a long process. It's a minimum 2 years, a year and a half, something like that, okay? So you'll be doing two pathways at the same time, right? So that's the difference between residency and citizenship. Number two, right? Objective at this point. And why is this our objective? Because Portugal is tripping. And it just breaks my heart. It breaks my heart because I love living in Portugal. We love living in Portugal. Can I speak for the both of us? Please?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
Yep.
We love living in Portugal. Like, okay, so let me tell you why. This little story illustrates why we love living in Portugal so much. So yesterday, I got a boot, y'all. I don't have a cast anymore. Now I got a boot. Anyway, so yesterday I had my doctor's appointment. They took the cast off. They put the boot on. We're waiting for our Uber down, on the street. And the hospital has wheelchairs that you can take out and wait on the side of the sidewalk so that you don't have to stand on crutches on one leg, right? So I'm sitting on the sidewalk in the wheelchair with my crutches in my hand and my purse. Now, mind you, Rick still has soreness in his knee and is still doing physical therapy from his knee surgery. So he's walking around with one crutch. I'm walking around with two crutches. He's trying to push the wheelchair with the one crutch. There's this gentleman, this Portuguese gentleman who's watching us, and he's like, "Can I help you?" And we're like, "No, we got it." And so then the Uber comes up and he's like, "Are you sure?" And he's saying all of this in Portuguese, but in context, we understand what he's saying, right? And so I get up and Rick's helping, and then Rick goes to put the wheelchair back in the not hospital, it's really a medical center. And the Portuguese guy helps me to the Uber, opens the Uber, makes sure he stops, tells him to back up so that I don't have to walk through the gravel, opens the door for me, holds my crutches while I get in, and then tells him to wait for my husband. This man does not know us from Adam, nor was he asking for a tip. That was not his job. He's waiting for his own business.
He even helped me into the Uber.
Yeah, he did. This is
Make
why
sure
we
I was
love
in it.
Portugal. This is why we love Portugal. At the same time, the MAGA version, these Portuguese people, just like American people, are so busy trying to make ends meet and do this and that. They're not paying attention to what's going on. And the MAGA wing of this government got too many votes this last time, and they have too much power. They don't have ultimate power, but they have too much power. And they have moved the goalposts, as we were supposed to talk about when I broke my leg and Rick had to talk about by himself, right? When we moved here, our whole thing was we're going to get a passport in 5 years. And that wasn't the main goal, but it was in our brain. We wanted another passport because we knew from January 6th. We knew. So we were looking for the fastest, the easiest non-investment citizenship pathway. Okay. The goal is not to buy citizenship like through an investment. Golden visas and things like that can lead to permanent residency or citizenship, right, sweetheart? Here, they used to have one by real estate. What do they have now here?
They took the real estate portion away, and I think you can invest it in business or the arts, different things like that.
That's right.
Just
That's
not
right.
real
That's
estate.
right. It's like right. You start a business or you donate it, and that's how you can get permanent residency, which can lead to citizenship. But other places, it can go straight to citizenship. So, but we're not talking about that. We are not talking about that. We are talking about residency cards that lead to citizenship, because we're talking about what regular people can do, what retirees can do, late bloomers, people with pensions, Social Security, passive income folks, or modest financial resources can qualify for legal residency. You'll see
Yeah.
Like the average qualification is like $1,000 a month, y'all. Okay. So this notion that only rich people do the move abroad thing is goofy. And the countries that we're going to be talking about today are the countries that, well, we'll tell you why. We'll tell you why. So that's the filter. Anything else that we used as a filter, sweetheart? I don't.
I would even say, because I know a lot of people, might not even be considering citizenship. They just might
Yeah.
want to get permanent residency, which is
Right. Right.
fine, which is fine too. You know,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
just,
Definitely.
there's a couple more things that you can do as a citizen than you could. But if that's not as important to you, get the residency.
If what the melon felon is doing right now with birthright citizenship and stuff like that, if you don't think he's going to go that far, right? Or if you've got access, if you already got access to another passport, right? But we're looking at how fast, how easy, how much money is required, how much time you have to spend in the country, and does it actually lead to citizenship? That's what we're looking at. All right. So number one, our first one, and this is ranked. This is ranked, y'all. All right. Our first one is, of course, Mexico.
Mexico.
Number one. Why is Mexico number one? Because 5 years to citizenship. 5 years to citizenship. Now, here's the thing. This is why we were not thinking about citizenship in Mexico at the beginning. Do you remember, sweetheart, why? You
I
don't
can't
remember.
remember offhand. No.
Okay. I remember. It's because you have to spend time in the country
It's
as
been
a
time in the
citizen.
country. That's correct.
So
That's right.
if I remember correctly now, okay, you guys. Now, I did my research and most of this came from the embassy. Things change at the drop of a dime and stuff like that, okay? But in general, all of this is going, if you're watching this in the next year, all of this is going to still hold. Okay, so I think for Mexico, once you're a citizen, I think you have to spend 6 months a year over a certain period of time,
Right.
okay? And so for some people who want to be really, really nomadic, that could be problematic. And that's what we thought we were going to do at first. So had we known that America was really, really going to be stupid enough to bring the melon felon back, then we probably would have taken a different pathway. But anyway, all right, to qualify for residency for Mexico, sweetheart, you've got your list too, right?
Yes. So for a temporary visa, you want to go through the whole thing? For a
Yep.
temporary visa, it's $4,400 a month or
Or,
78,000 a year in
no, 70,
savings.
yeah, $78,000 in savings.
In
That's
savings.
it, y'all. You probably got that in your
Yeah.
401k.
Yeah.
You probably have that in your 401k. Okay.
Yes.
Now it has gone up. It's gone up significantly since
It's
we
gone
got it in
up.
2022.
Right.
Okay. Because permanent residency is what, sweetheart?
7,800 a month or $283,000 in savings.
Okay. Now that may seem like a lot of money, but some of y'all own houses and are going to sell the house before you leave. They say you're supposed to have that amount in your account for 12 months. Try anyway. Because we didn't have our money in the account for 12 months. She didn't even look at that. She looked at the number, and at the time it was 185,000 in the bank for us during that time for permanent. We had that. It hadn't been in there for a year. She didn't look. She's like, I'm giving you permanent. Okay. So just try. We told you what the in-country stay burden is. 5 years to citizenship. But here's the deal, y'all. You have to be in country 2 years, at least 2 years prior to the year you apply. So that's why I said 2029. Otherwise, y'all, we would qualify in 2027. So had we known the melon felon was going to come back in office, we would have been splitting our time between Portugal and Mexico so that we would qualify February 2027 for citizenship. Yep,
Yeah.
yep, yep. It is an excellent backup.
Excellent backup. If
Excellent
it's not
backup.
your first choice, it's definitely an excellent backup.
Oh, the other thing, the passport thing. Okay. And what? Okay. Oh, it's on here. Passport mobility. Okay. So
Mhm.
this is important because as we're searching for another passport, I'm looking for a passport that's strong now, but I'm also considering passports that I believe will be stronger later. Okay. Because we know the West is going down, y'all. We've already seen the American passport lose gravity, lose power since we've been in Portugal. So Mexico's passport has, I want to say, not the, it has mobility strength. We're going to vote this on mobility strength. And so it has 150 plus countries that you can have access to with no problem. Okay. It's ranked number 19. So it's in the 19th. And there's a group of them that are number 19. Right. Number 2. We've mentioned this before and we're going to do it.
Yeah.
We're going to do it. We're going to do it. We're going
Uruguay.
to do it. Uruguay. Now,
Uruguay.
we've talked about Uruguay a lot, and I've been talking about Uruguay for a long time because a friend of mine moved there, and it was already on my list back then. It's just too far south. But then when Utopians, Yakota and Peter talked about it and gave us some more information that we didn't know, I was like, wait a minute, it's got to go up on the list. So you only need for the retirement or passive income visa $1,000 a month. $1,000 a month, y'all. Okay. Um, if you're going to stay, if you want citizenship, it's 7 years to citizenship, and you must stay in the country 6 months out of every year for citizenship for the minimal days for permanent residency. All right. So
Mhm.
it's 6 months in, 6 months out. So hey, we could avoid these Portuguese winters and go down to the southern hemisphere
You
and
know,
just avoid winter
sunshine year
altogether.
round.
I mean, we were happy to get rid of the snow, y'all. We were happy just to get rid of the snow. But with this plan, we could get rid of the rain too, or the cold rain. I don't mind summer rains because they usually cool off things. But the winter rains, it gets
Yeah,
chilly,
when it
and it's
rains
just,
day after day after day after day. Yeah.
yeah. So Uruguay to me is an excellent backup. It has the strongest passport on the list. It has the strongest passport on the list, y'all. The mobility score is 151, right? And it's in the 18th group. Okay, the number 18. All right. Let's see, is there anything else? So, I mean, the things that you should ask yourself: can I build a life there? Can I manage healthcare there? Can I handle the language? Of course, it's Spanish, Mexico Spanish. Can I maintain family connections? It's far. Now, Uruguay, it's far. So just know it's like South Africa far. It's in the southern hemisphere, and it's, down there underneath Brazil, down there at the tip. Okay. So, but it's got weather like South Africa, which to me has weather like San Diego. With a little bit more humidity than San Diego, just a little bit. So I think Uruguay has a very stable economy, very stable government, um, and a lot of English is spoken there. Healthcare system is great. Okay, all of these places, the healthcare systems are good. Okay, good to great, as good as the United States or better, and all of them are more affordable. Okay, because that has to be all right. Number 3. So the
Costa
first one
Rica.
was first one
Oh,
was Mexico. Second one was Uruguay. Third one is, sweetheart.
Costa Rica.
And how much money you need?
You need $1,000 a month, guaranteed lifetime pension.
So like Social
Pensionado.
Security or something like that.
Yeah.
But there, guess what? You don't have to be an old person. Like, say you
No.
are somebody that gets a disability check or something like that, or you've got, it's just got to be something that's dependable, that's guaranteed, like a disability, um, survivors benefits, stuff like that. Because I know that there's younger people out there that have survivors benefits and
Hmm.
stuff like that from parents and things like that, right? So just saying. And the in-stay burden to stay in country.
It's low and flexible. You know,
Yep, yep.
you don't have to. Yeah, they're flexible,
Yeah, I
very
think you have to
flexible.
check in once every 2 years or something like that. Okay. 7 years to citizenship, and you must be physically present 6 months out of every year. So if you want, like Costa Rica, as a backup residency, you check in every 2 years or so, you fine, you good to go. It's right there next to the United States. It's easy. But if you want a Costa Rican passport, which is pretty good, right? It's number 23. The mobility score is 143. So it's a strong passport and gives you a good amount of mobility, a good amount of mobility. Okay. Because the United States is not as strong as it used to be, y'all. Seriously, seriously. But so if you're going to, just like with Uruguay, just like with Mexico, if citizenship is the plan, then you got to factor that in.
Hmm.
You got to factor that in. So, I think the other thing about Costa Rica again is there is English. There's a huge expat community there. There's a growing expat community in Uruguay, English speaking community. I know we don't like the term expat, but we are expats from America. We are immigrants to the other countries. Okay, so we can be both. Both can be true at the same time. So it's just easier. We already know Mexico has a huge expat. Uruguay does. Costa Rica does. And then we're not going to talk about number 5 on our list just yet. Let's make sure that we've talked about everything for Costa Rica. 7 years of citizenship. Yeah. Okay. And so again, healthcare is good. It's safe. All of these places are safer than America, safer than the major cities in America. Seriously, you guys. Yes. Even Mexico. Yes. Yes.
Hmm.
Yes. Even with the little scuttlebutt that happened not too long ago, it still is. Because look at what happens in America every day. You guys are just so numb. You're so numb that when one not little, major incident happens in another country and it's poofed on the news, we're like, oh, it's so dangerous. And we disregard all of the white supremacy murders that are happening daily in the United States. Okay. So remember that, put it in context. No place is absolutely safe. No place. But there are places that are a lot safer than the United
Yes.
States.
Right.
A lot safer. All right. Okay. I don't think the script totally updated. So let's just keep going with our list. And then we will get to point number 9. So number 5.
Number 5 is one of my favorite places. Yeah.
Yes. All right, Panama. Again, how much money you need, sweetheart?
$1,000 a month pension or annuity.
That's
You
right.
know,
That's for the pensionado program. Okay. And you still, with the pensionado, just like with Costa Rica, you ain't got to be of a certain age. Go ahead, sweetie.
I was going to say, property base variance lower than $750 a month.
Oh, so if you buy a house there, then the qualification is only $750 a month as opposed to $1,000 a month. Is that what you're saying?
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
And again, the in-country stay is just 1 day per calendar year. So if you plan to go back to the States to do business and or visit family once a year, there you go.
You're good. Yeah.
There you go. Because you're already over there. And it's just a hop, skip, and a jump down to Panama. You cannot get citizenship through the pensionado program. That's the only thing. You can get citizenship through other visas, but it looks like they're like work visas and stuff like that. No. So that's what I saw. That's what I saw. If you guys know something different, let us know in the chat, right? Let us know in the comments if you're watching from the future, but that's what I found. So I think Panama is a good backup for permanent residency. It's easy, it's safe, they're on the dollar. You know, there's people there that speak English. There's Black folks there. You're going to find your hair care products and all of that stuff. It's a hop, skip, and a jump from America. It's not very far. And that pensionado program is lovely. They want you there. They give you discounts everywhere. Them discounts are good, baby. Right, sweetheart? We saw that check come down. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Esau. That's what I was saying. So yeah. All right. So that's Panama. Number 6.
Thailand. About
Thailand
$1,000.
right. It's a country after my heart. It's just not as easy as I would like it to be. Not to live there. I think to be there and live there and have a nice life there, I think that part's easy. But just the system to get residency and stuff is not as easy as I would like. But anyways, go ahead, sweetheart. What were you going to say?
You know, you can.
It's the limited time residency. That's what that stands
Limited time
for.
residency, yeah. Or $40,000 a year.
Yeah,
US.
that's not that bad.
Yeah.
That's not that bad, right? 4,800 a month. But for retirees, they do have a residency program, and I got this from the embassy. 2,000. The bots equated to today, as we're recording this, because Mellon Felon is devaluing the dollar. But as of today, that equals about $2,000 a month. And it looks like what I found. I'm looking at my notes here. I should look right here, as opposed to I could just put it right here. That for long-term stay, it's moderate to long-term stay, but you can rarely visit and still keep your residency. Now, I'm not sure if that's for the long-term residency or for the retiree residency. So you'll have to double check that if Thailand is on your list. As I said, the other thing, so here, this is why Thailand is number 6 on our list out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, this is all out of whack. This is number 5, y'all. My list, it did not sort right. So 1, 2, 3, Panama is number 4, Thailand is number 5, and then we have 6. So it's 5 out of 6 because there's no pathway to citizenship, really, because they don't really allow dual citizenship.
Right.
And their passport is, the mobility score is decent. It's decent. Okay. It's decent. But when you look at the other countries, I don't know. But you got to look at it, because the next country we're going to talk about that their passport doesn't seem as strong either. But when you look more deeply, we'll tell you about it. Okay. So that's Thailand. Y'all know, I think it's a good Asia base. I think if the retiree passport does, you can come and go, live there some of the time, leave during the burning season, if you want to live in Chiang Mai or whatever have you. I think it's a good Asia base. The food is always great.
Yes.
The food is always great. That's the thing. I think just looking at Black folks' videos, I think Thailand has the best food in Southeast Asia. What do you think? I think it is. It does. We haven't been to every country.
Well, I was going to say, Malaysia, Vietnam, we got to.
Right. So we're going to go, but just based upon Black folks that I either know or that I've watched enough of their videos that I trust their opinions, it sounds like Thailand may have the best food of all Southeast Asia, because people say it's not Thailand good, but it's good. I've heard people say that. So we'll see. We'll have our own opinion. We'll get our own opinion when we get back out there, after we get off the boot and off the crutches and all of that stuff, right? Okay. Number 6, last but certainly not least, and also dear to my heart, is
I really like this place too, South Africa.
okay.
South Africa
South
now,
Africa. So you need about 37,000 Rand per month, or that equals today about $2,072 from pension, annuity, rental income, so passive income sources. Okay.
Mhm.
So that's not bad. That is not bad at all. Right? That's very, very doable. And the average person who's getting Social Security that watches our Black Utopia could qualify for that. No problem.
Right. And the moderate visa can be issued up to 4 years and renewed.
Yeah, and be renewed. There is a pathway
Yeah.
to citizenship for South Africa. So
Mhm.
residents for 5 years, and you must live in country for up to 4 of the prior 8 years for citizenship. So first you got to have permanent residency, and you have to have temporary residency for a few years before you get permanent residency. Okay. So so it's 8 years for citizenship, 5 years permanent residency, and 8 years prior to citizenship, you must be living in the country. Makes sense? So 8 years to citizenship, you have to be on permanent residency for 5 years, and then another 3 years. But the 4 years before you apply, you have to be in country. Okay. Otherwise, you can come
Right.
and go a little bit more often. Um, I, I South Africa, it's just, oh my gosh, it has so much potential. It's already a lovely country. Don't get me wrong. They got to get their infrastructure worked out. Now that I have dealt with the rolling blackouts, I could deal with them. I can work around them. It's up to the citizens to get that changed. I could work. Like, in other words, South Africa is lovely enough, and the people are lovely enough to work around that. I
Yes.
wasn't willing. Like, had you talked to me 2.5 years ago, I was not willing. I was not willing. I was definitely willing to go back and visit, right? I've got family there and everything else, right? But now that I've been there since this has happened, okay, 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 okay. The food is great. The food is great. Um, the black people and the colored people are lovely, and some of the white folks are. I'm gonna put it like that. But we so outnumber them in South Africa. That's like whatever, whatever. I love South Africa. Again, it's far down there, y'all. It's
It
way
is.
down there. So that's the thing. And I'm just not sure right now if that's going to work. But I think that once my mom transitions on and goes home to be with dad, I think that South Africa will be on the list, higher on the list for us. I really do. I don't know. I don't know what to say. Um, there is something about being in the majority. There is something about seeing our kids and how they interact and how healthy they are. I watch, and I've talked about this before, but I watch, my sister was born in America, of course, and but she moved to South Africa when she was in middle school or maybe high school, early high school, like ninth grade. She left an, an insecure child. We were all insecure in them days, right? But the self confidence that I saw when she came back was remarkable. And I know that it would not have been that way had she and her mom and the rest of her sibs her half sibs remained in America. I know it. I know it. And so I want us, especially those of us who are not African American but are Black, keep South Africa on your list, y'all. Keep South Africa on your list. Passport power matters, okay? But it's not the only metric, right? It's not the only metric. Ranking matters, mobility matters, right? Visa free access matters. Like, how many countries can you just show up and you get entry? Or how many countries is it easy? You just fill out a little something, something online, and 30 seconds later, you're approved and
Mm-hmm.
boom, right? That's what we're talking about. Mexico, Uruguay, you're going to be in good hands. You've got a passport that's got good mobility. South Africa has regional and strategic value. I think Thailand has strategic value, right? I
Right.
think all of these countries have value. It just depends on what your priorities are and what you're looking for, how easy it is for you to maintain residency there the way you want to live. That's what I think. Sweetheart, anything to add to that?
Well, you pretty much said
Yeah.
it.
Well, here's the thing, because I know we keep hammering this, but Black Americans need options before the crisis happens, you guys. Okay.
Definitely need options. Definitely.
Okay. That's why we keep talking about this, right? We keep talking about options. We're not telling people to panic, but we're telling you to just to plan, have a plan, right? Because you don't have to get ready if you stay ready. That's why we're talking about places where you don't have to live in country. Get the residency now. You
Right.
use it as a vacation place, and you don't have to go through any rigmarole when you go on vacation, and then you get to know the place. Maybe the fit never hits the total sham in America. It's hit the sham. The fit has hit the sham in America. That's for sure. Oh, show. But it hasn't hit the total sham. Otherwise, there wouldn't be still people on air being able to say what they say, right? Because we would have lost that right already. So don't wait until your passport becomes a problem. Because like we keep saying, if they're building them concentration camps, if they build them, they're going to fill them. If they build them, they're going to fill them. And they want to fill them with us so that they can have free labor again or cheap labor again, right? Since they kicked out all the brown people. Do not wait until your passport becomes a problem, right? If money is the issue, and it's not that there are certain parts of America that I still love. I am an American. It's made me who I am. I'm scrappy. Like we kind of scrappy. We come out here and we see some of these people are so mellow that's like, y'all need to fight. Like when we told you about the situation in the public hospitals, they need to fight. They need to fight. And they're fighting right now. They're on strike. Right? The transportation's on strike, y'all. And I'm sorry, Benita, because I told you that you don't have to worry about it because they don't strike like they strike in America. Well, they did this time. And they always strike in the summer. And I've forgotten that. And I've got to remember that. They always strike in the summer. But usually they don't do a full strike. They'll say, instead of running every 20 minutes, we're going to run every 4 hours. Like if it's the big train. And then, instead of running every 10 minutes, it's going to be every 30 minutes for buses and things like that. Stuff was just shut down. So they are fighting. They are fighting, So
Mm-hmm.
they're pulling a little bit of their South Central and trying to fight, but no,
I
they
mean,
don't.
they deserve more. They
They
truly
do.
deserve more.
They do. They do deserve more. And so, I'm not saying to hate America or any of that. There's parts of America that I just hate. I hate white supremacy, right? I hate the fact that America seems to the system of America that has been allowed to continue seems to think that it has the right to everybody else's resources, right? I hate the healthcare system there. I hate the fact that they pretend like they have a meritocracy when they really don't, right? But even with all of that, I can't deal with that teleprompter, sweetheart. Even with all of that, I still think that I'm glad I was born in America, and I'm glad I have the opportunity to get out. That's for sure. And if for no other reason, to lead a pathway for your children, for your children, just like we were talking about on Sunday. All them white folks in America, their ancestors left Europe. Their grandmothers left Europe, not ancestors, grandmothers or great grandmothers. Like my great grandmother didn't leave this earth until I was like 24, 25 years old, right? And so their great grandmothers left. And we still have people holding on. Okay. So starting with a simple pen. Step one, make sure your US passport is current. And remember, this list of our countries is in the description below, you guys. Okay. Step two, check your ancestry. Parents, grandparents, great grandparents, Caribbean, Canada, Latin America, Europe, Africa. Listen to what Big Mama and them was saying and see if you have access to citizenship through descent. Okay, we've said this before. We're going to keep saying it because every single time new people are listening, and sometimes y'all need to be reminded. Now, unfortunately, Rick and I, we ain't got none. We ain't got none. All right, step three, pick 3 countries to research, 1 primary, 1 backup, and 1 wild card. Okay, step 4, look for non-investment pathways. Pathways from pension, from passive income, rental income, maybe just having a savings, a large enough savings, right? And then citizenship through naturalization. Naturalization just means you've been in the country long enough. You speak a little bit of the language. A lot of times they're going to ask for that. They're going to ask you to know some of the history and things like that. We know what is required in America, and you pretty much the same is required in other countries, right? Step 5, and ask the real questions. How much income do I need? How long before citizenship? How much time must I spend in country? Does this country allow dual citizenship? What are the tax implications? What is the healthcare reality, right? Can I actually live there?
Yeah.
Step 6, go ahead, sweetheart. Step 6.
Start your own document folder. Birth certificates, marriage certificates, divorce decrees, passport, background checks, information, bank statements, pension, letters, pension letters, Social Security,
Yeah.
Get
them all apostille.
Apostille.
Get them all apostille, right? These are the things that you're going to need. So you might as well start collecting them now. Now, some of this stuff has time limits, like the FBI background check. Those things that Rick just listed, those are the basic documents that these countries need for residency. Okay. Some may require less, some may require a little bit more. But if you've got those, you've got 80% to 90% of what you need.
And I would say, please, please, please don't wait until you're in a panic to start. You start looking for paperwork when you're nervous and you're trying to rush and panicked and stuff like that. Don't do that. Do it while you're calm.
Right.
Do it while things are easy going, and put it all together.
Exactly. So because life be life in y'all. So yes, the show must go on, not in the cute way, not in the let's pretend everything's okay way. The show must go on because life is going to keep lifing, right? Politics is going to keep politicking. Economies are going to keep shifting. Immigration laws are going to keep changing, and your body my boot. Your job, your government, and your circumstances may interrupt your plans. But if you have options, the interruptions do not have to become the end of your story.
No,
Rick,
no.
we have Portugal residency. We have Mexican residency, permanent Mexican residency.
Yeah.
We have that pathway to Mexican
Got a
citizenship, and
pathway.
right, and we are still looking, not because we're afraid, but because we're strategic.
We're going to be looking for it in February 2029.
That's right, and that's what we want for you. All right. We used to think freedom like meant having enough money. Now, now we know freedom actually means having enough options. It means having enough options because I let's not get it twisted. It has been nice, and I thank God, and I've had to be very, very grateful and very mindful of the fact that this injury has not been not one iota of a financial burden on us. And I feel so blessed. And so again, huge, huge shout out to Christina and Aman of Our Rich Journey for teaching us about fire. Huge, huge shout out to my stepmother Phyllis for teaching me how to invest deeply, intently. And that put us in the position where when life starts lifing, we have choices because we shut up and we listened. We listened to our elders, my stepmom. We listened to our youngins. Christina and Mom are young enough to be our kids, y'all.
Yeah.
We shut up and listened. And
Stop
so
waiting for that perfect moment, because that perfect moment may not come.
exactly.
It may
Get your
not come.
passport. Study your pathway. Build your document folder, right? And stop waiting for that perfect moment, right? So if money is the issue, you know the side hustle challenge cohort is back. We are starting in July. And guess what, y'all? We are having a special FAQ, frequently asked question Zoom session. So if you're not sure if the side hustle challenge is right for you, or you're already in the side hustle challenge and you just want to learn more, you got to register. It's free. Of course, it's free. And it's a private Zoom call. The information is in the description below. It is the very first link after the description of the video. All right. So that's our side hustle challenge. It starts the second week in July. So if money is the issue, we will teach you how to make money without borders. Okay. Making money is easy, y'all. It really, really is. It really, really is. And part of it is just a mindset. Part of it is just a mindset. And then all that's up to you. I can't teach you that. we can lead you, but we can't teach you that. But the skill sets, what you need to go from step A, an idea, or I don't know what I want to do. I just know I need to make some money. If that's where you're at, oh. If you're like, I've got a side hustle, but it's not growing and I can't figure out why, cool. Either way, or somewhere in between, either way, we got you, and we will get you to launch in 10 weeks. We meet every single Saturday for 10 weeks, and things are due every single Saturday. If it's feedback, or for somebody else, or you're turning something in. Okay. So get ready to work. If you are ready to start making money, if you're ready to actually build something that lasts, just like our Black Utopia, there's plenty of room. Come on out. The water is fine. The water is fine, y'all. All right. If that's not the case, Beyond the Bling. Beyond the Bling is our financial freedom program for late bloomers just like ourselves. And I haven't been looking because I can't see the StreamYard chat comments right now, but it doesn't look like it. Usually we get donations. 100% of our donations go to our scholarship fund. If you need a scholarship, send us an email. You can get our email on our website, ourblackutopia.com. And go ahead, give the announcement, Ricky.
Hey, and on Sunday, Katrina Haynes, OBU's official expat tax guru, is coming back And all of our Beyond the Bling participants and side hustle cohorts will get to ask their questions in their own private session with Katrina
That's
next
right.
Saturday.
That's right. So next Saturday, we have invited. So if you're in Beyond the Bling, if you're already in Beyond the Bling, this is Beyond the Bling is an ongoing self-paced course that comes with monthly group coaching. We meet every second Saturday. First Beyond the Bling meets, and then the side hustle cohort meets. And then after the 10 weeks are up, we continue meeting with you monthly for a year. We don't just drop you by the wayside. We continue meeting with you for a year for that low, low, low price. Y'all, we're not good capitalists, but we make enough money. We make enough money to live the life that we want to make, that we want to live. And that's all that's needed. We don't need to be billionaire weirdos like these weirdos. Weirdos. They're so weird. Anyway, so so Beyond the Bling, and even the people who signed up for the side hustle cohort just now are invited next Saturday, which is the second Saturday, to a private Zoom, because we always meet on second Saturday at the same time that Beyond the Bling meets. Okay, so this was she was invited to Beyond the Bling, and I'm inviting the side hustle cohort to the Beyond the Bling space as well, to ask Katrina questions and to hear what she has to say beyond what she's going to say on Sunday. You guys, you can't sleep this. Okay. What we don't want you to do is to move abroad and think, okay, I don't have to worry about what's going on in America. America is one of the few countries that no matter where you live in the world,
You have to find.
you have to file your taxes, okay? And then you might have to pay depending upon the situation in which country you're moving to and how long you've been there, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Okay? Katrina is the person. She's been doing this for over 20 years, y'all. Over 20 years, okay?
She's
So,
trained other people. She's
and
trained other accountants.
other CPAs. Yes, she trains other CPAs. All right, so that's what we have for you today. What we want from you is to download this list. All right, download the list. It's in the description below. It's free. Download it. Use this as the foundation. You might have other criteria that you want to incorporate. Good, but don't stand still. Do something.
I wanted to say hi to some more. We got 2 new members.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Beverly.
Hey,
Thank you.
Beverly,
Thank you.
welcome,
Thank you.
welcome.
Welcome. Yes, Beverly's been around for a long time. I thought you already were a member, so we're happy that you are
Yeah.
now. Oops. Robin
Oh, we clicking
Anderson.
each other.
Yes, became a member. Welcome to the Utopians. And you want to click Anna? And Anna became a
Gotcha.
member. Now, Utopia members, here's the thing. There are perks. We try not to put too many things behind the paywall, okay? Because we think, I'm going to quote Danielle Moody, that democracy dies behind a paywall. And souls die behind a paywall, and intelligence dies behind a paywall, right? And so but access to us is what's behind the paywall. And so what we do is before we go live on Sundays, we hang out an hour before we go live with all of our Utopian members who join us on Zoom, in a private Zoom behind the scenes, and we chitty chat. They ask questions and they see us getting ready and doing all of the things in a private Zoom. And then our legends are invited every other Thursday to come on air with us and be a part of the show.
Yes.
And with that, I think we did it. I think we did it, y'all. We love you. We will see you on Sunday. And happy Corpus Christi Day. And with that, we'll let you go.
All right.
Bye, y'all.